watching January Keaton.
All right, listen to this, guys. A 6-year-old Indiana boy trapped for more than 3 hours under 11 feet of sand at an Indiana park was saved by a tiny air pocket. All right, thank you so much tonight, Lindsay. Well, late last night, the not guilty verdict for George Zimmerman, charged in the shooting death of Florida teenager Trayvon Martin. That word sparked reaction virtually coast to coast. It's going to be a beautiful temperature, but awful with rain tomorrow. Finally, we get some good 80s and...
Well, by the end of the week, we will.
All right, sounds good. By the way, me and Andy, once again, did not coordinate this gold on gold. Or you smoke. Also, know your cholesterol and blood pressure numbers. Mine, 118/80. All right. My heart is awesome. What's yours?
She does have a good heart, a big heart.
It's been just over a week now since the village of Fort Plain was left devastated by flash flooding. And tonight, some residents were able to get some relief in the way of much-needed supplies. The News Center's Lindsay Nielsen has been at the H.C. Smith Benefit Club in St. John of today's rain. Some parts of the village of Castleton are literally underwater. Take a look at some of the video that just came into the News Center. The whole street underwater there. That lady's in a boat on the side. The threat was made through a comment on Facebook. And according to Saratoga police, the teen who reportedly posted that comment, he's now charged with making a terroristic threat. We want to turn to the News Center's Lindsay Nielsen, who's live outside the Saratoga High School tonight. She's been following the latest developments for us all day. Lindsay. Another trip to treatment would be pointless. All told, she spent more than 280 days in various rehab facilities over the years. My goodness. Well, really quick sidebar here. Happy birthday, Venus Williams. The tennis star turns 33 today.
You're live here at SPAC, which, as I mentioned, is completely empty. Just let me tell you guys, one of the most touching moments during the ceremony was when Christopher Stewart's mother walked up on stage. She got his diploma for him.
Today's nice weather. Kids of all ages were certainly out enjoying it. A special event was held in Cohoes to make sure the kids soaked in the summer safely. Kicked off this morning at Curtis Lumber in Ballston Spa. And our own News Center chief meteorologist, well, you know he was there to help out. Shelters from around the News Center, everybody. I'm January Keaton. News since 6, tragedy in the skies of Ohio. A pilot and a wing walker die in a plane crash mid-stunt at an air show. Finally home. A motorcade brought his body to Saugerties and wound its way through Haines Falls, which is where I'm live right now. South Africans anxiously awaiting for news about the health of former President Nelson Mandela, who was admitted to the hospital again. Mandela has been in and out of the hospital for the 46th annual Flag Day Parade. We'll show you all the fun had at the parade this afternoon. Good evening, I'm January Keaton. First on Fox, though, fallen soldier, Lieutenant Colonel Todd Clark. He was a 40-year-old soldier.
Brought in for jury deliberations so she can reference them. The judge had to dismiss the jury, go into chambers with them and counsel, read over those notes, and finally he did decide that it is okay.
And as the search continues for Healy, the difficult task of cleaning up in the town of Fort Plain is just beginning.
Mindful of how much electricity and water you use and when you use them. And it's due to this heat. Guys, I'm here at the Saratoga County Fairgrounds roasting, but I wonder, how do the animals here feel? Well, I talked to some kids today who take care of
5 days in a row of 90 or better, and you only need 3.
To make a heat wave.
To make a heat wave.
Okay, we definitely surpassed that.
That's right.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay.
Now let's check in with the News Center's Josh Sims for a preview of what's ahead in sports. Josh.
The Montcalm is closing is because the owners, the Beckoses, the family that has owned the place since 1956, they've decided to sell the restaurant. And what the new owners are going to do, they're going to start tearing this building down in about mid-July, early August to make room for a new strip mall in its place.
They were eventually able to knock it down, and all people inside at the time were able to get themselves out unharmed. Meanwhile, the eyes of the nation are on a courtroom in Sanford, Florida today as a jury decides the fate of George Zimmerman on whether or not he shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin last year in self-defense. Outside the court today. Well, tragic new details in a 4th of July homicide investigation. State police say a Scotticoke woman, allegedly attacked by her son, has died as a result of her injuries. A 73-car train carrying crude oil went off its track and exploded, destroying much of downtown. As of this evening, there are still fears of more explosions and dozens of people still unaccounted for.
January Keaton with a look at your entertainment news.
Good morning, everyone. The trend begins with Justin Bieber's legal trouble and his monkey finds a home. Trust me, this will all make sense in just a second. Let's start with the legal stuff.
Closed.
Now let's check in with meteorologist Andy Gregorio for a preview of what's ahead in the forecast. Andy.
Alrighty, January, that summertime trio of haze.
But county and town officials say they are doing all they can to curb complaints of crime surrounding motels like the one you see right behind me. But that one restaurant owner who you just mentioned, all right, here we go. Oh! Woo!
What heat? It's camp.
Paul Croner, one of the owners of Camp Skodak.
Federal disaster areas, and that means all 3 are eligible for federal funding. Now, that's good news for the counties, but for homeowners, it's another story. And
we're going to talk to a guy who sprung into action, banging on doors, waking people up when that fire broke out, and the unlikely hero he credits for being able to do so.
Live in January, Keaton. That 18-year-old man was arrested last night in the connection of the death of that baby. He's now facing formal charges. 18-year-old
Lisa, here in Warrensburg, you can see behind me the Scroon River. So calm. These guys here are enjoying a relaxing day of fishing. But it wasn't so in the neighboring town of Johnsburg. One evacuation already carried out.
Live, January.
That's exactly right, John. In light of repeated hurricanes and severe flooding, Senator Charles Schumer is pushing for maximum funding of New York stream gauges. Money for stream gauges was
Currently being withheld right now. Police are saying no foul play is suspected, and this does appear to be just an unfortunate accident. Live in Troy, January Keaton for the News Center on 1080.
On the whereabouts of Edward Snowden. He's the man facing charges for blowing the cover on a U.S. government surveillance program. Snowden, wanted on espionage charges, managed to avoid arrest in Hong Kong. He's now in Moscow, hoping to head to Ecuador for asylum.
Neighbors indeed. Now, I put a call into the Warren County Sheriff's Department to see when that state of emergency will be lifted. I got the voicemail there. Meantime, city engineers, they're still on Barton Mines Road, making sure no one takes that road unless absolutely necessary.
Maybe some more renewed flooding possibilities from soaking showers and storms.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you tonight at 10 and 11. Have a good night.